What would you do if you're sitting at church and your neighbor comes up to you and says, hey, I'm leaving for a week. Do you want to take my bike and do some videos? Well, that's what happened to me. And the bike in question is one that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a while. Obviously, I said, well, heck yeah. So he's like, all right, I'll bring it up after church today, and then you can have it for the week, do some videos with it. Look at what bike is now here at the house that I'm going to be making videos on. This is a 2018 Yamaha XT250. This is the bike that a lot of folks have said, hey, you need to get one of these and do some comparison videos against the TW, so we know what it is that we want to buy when we go in and look at the TW200 or the XT250. I made a video quite a while ago about the specs of the XT and the TW, but this isn't going to be that one. I'm not going to waste too much time with that. We're going to get to the testing of these two bikes so that we can really see, okay, which one should we go with. Now, before we start, just to give you a few, things to look at here, the XT is sitting at like just over 32 inches on the seat height. The TW is 31.1. So there isn't really a whole lot of difference in the seat height on here, but your front tire, your rear tire are going to be a lot more common sizes, so you got a lot more tire options. You've got disc in the front, disc in the rear on the XT. You've got disc in the front, drum on the rear brake-wise for the TW. The TW still got the 28mm Mikuni carb, and the XT is fuel injected, which a lot of folks have said, hey, why doesn't the Yamaha or why doesn't the TW come with fuel injection? Honestly, can't answer that right now, but it doesn't. So if these are just a few things to think of when you're looking at the XT versus the TW. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of different things like settings wise for me personally, because he's got it set up the way that he likes it. So we're going to go with his settings on here. One thing to note though is on the back of the TW you don't have an adjustable rear shock, whereas on the XT you do have adjustable preload on here, so you can adjust your setting on there a little bit, which some might want, over the TW200. So this one is still in stock form, and nothing real major has been done to this. Obviously we got the hand guards and we have a skid plate down here. We've got some fresh, super fresh Kenda Trackmaster 270s on here on the XT. So we're gonna go and do a few tests with these and just see how they do. Now, while we've got the XT, if there's any questions that you're wondering, hey, what about this, what about this, please put those in the comments down below and we'll try to get a video made and get those answered for you. So let's get some riding in and see how it feels. We are out here on the 2018 XT250, and I have both of my boys on the 2019 TW and the 2021 TW. So we're going to go do a little bit of street riding here with the XT first and just kind of see how it stacks up compared to the TW200. So first off, this one, the XT, I think if I'm not mistaken, is a 1548 sprocket setup. It's going to be a little bit taller geared for the road over the TW200. So that right there means you're probably going to get a little bit more top speed out of it as you're cruising down the road. Now, one of the big misconceptions with the XT, everybody says, oh, it's a 6-speed. No, it's not. This is still a 5-speed. So I'm wondering really what the top cruising speed on the XT really is going to be. With the adjustable rear suspension or the preload on here, this one is set up a little bit softer than what I would like, personally, for me. So, but I don't want to really do anything to it where it's not my bike. But that is one thing that it does have over the TW. Plus, it's got more suspension travel, so it's probably going to soak up the bumps quite a bit better than the TW would, where it's just the stock suspension on there is just, I would say, a little bit more harsh. So something to take into consideration when it comes to the XT versus the TW200. So it's McCade on the XT right now, and I'm riding the TW. The one thing that I've noticed, the tires on that XT are super skinny, and when you're going off-road or even on the road, the traction definitely feels a little bit different than the TW does. The TW, obviously a wider tire, just feels really, really stout. Where this is a friend's bike, we're not going to do anything crazy with it. So we just took it on some road, took it on in the dirt a little bit. Nothing crazy just yet, because I don't want to hurt my buddy's bike. First impressions though, we're going to ask the boys, because all three of us rode it. We're going to ask the boys what their impressions were on it. McCade, what'd you like about the XT250? Go ahead and fill us in. What'd you think, like when you first got on it, what was your overall like, oh hey, this over the TW?
Well, it wasn't like this over that, but like as soon as I sat on it, the controls are like this whole front is like the handlebars, the setup, like the exact same as on the TW. Like the kill switch, start, everything.
Okay, so you're looking at the handlebars, and honestly, those are the exact same controls. I mean, if you look, as far as switches go,
it's like the exact
they're like the exact same. Yep.
Like the same mirrors too.
Yep, as the TW. Okay, so handlebars, switches are pretty much the same as the TW200. Okay, what else?
I don't know, it's not like super like tall and you have to like...
So you like that it's shorter.
Yeah.
So it's obviously it's a little bit taller than the TW, but does it feel taller than the TW?
Not once you sit on it, no.
Not when you sit, okay. So if you're just throwing a leg over it though, like can you notice that there's a little difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it hard to reach the ground? Where you can touch the ground pretty good with the TW, is it hard to reach the ground on the XT? Okay. Was there anything else on here that stood out that you're like, hey, this is cool, or hey, I didn't like this about the XT?
Like when you like sit on it, the seat's super comfy.
The seat is comfortable?
Yeah.
See, and that's where I thought the TW was more comfortable than the XT. So that's good to know. Okay, so preference there. Okay, Halt, come over here with McCade, and we'll have you both in here. Halt, your first impressions. What'd you think?
Well, when I sat on it, I really liked the seat because it's comfy and it like squishes down.
Okay, so you like the seat more over the TW?
Yeah.
So you like the XT more than the TW?
No.
No, I mean the seat-wise.
Yeah.
Seat-wise, you like the XT more than the TW?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like when you go over like rocks, it's not like a hole, like it like shoots you up. It's just like a little bump.
So the suspension is more, I will say more supple, a lot less harsh than the TW.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing that really confused me when I was riding it, I had to look down to see where the back brake was because it's so small. It's like under it.
Under the engine there?
Yeah.
Okay, so and the TW is not like that, huh? Oh, the TW
sticks out
out a little bit more. Yeah. But I wonder, that's a breakaway pedal. Yeah. So it makes me wonder if that's stock. I'll have to look that up and see. If you know, let us know in the comments if that breakaway pedal is stock or not. So you had to look for the pedal.
Yeah.
The kickstand.
The kickstand?
Yes.
Okay, what about it?
On the TW, like when you're riding and then you go to put it down, it like snaps into place, like
it springs down into place.
This one you have to push it all the way.
Okay, so the kickstand on the TW is easier than the kickstand on the XT.
Yeah. The tank.
What about the tank?
It's just different because with the seat, it just goes and then it just keeps going up on the tank.
Yeah.
It's like one of those XR 400s.
Okay.
And then on the TW, it goes, but then it just like, it's just shorter and it's different.
So do you like the TW more or the XT more when it comes to the tank?
I like the tank on the TW, but I like the suspension on the XT. Okay,
suspension on the XT versus the suspension on there, but the tank on the TW versus the tank on the XT. Okay? So one thing you both mentioned on here, or as we were talking before, the foot pegs. So these are the stock foot pegs, and they're the same size as the stock ones on the TW, But I've got the aftermarket on the TW, so these guys are used to this over this, right?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that also was mentioned were the foot pegs for the passenger.
They're tiny.
Look at how small those are.
And then they like sit so much farther up. Like if you're sitting passenger, like
So the ergonomics of the XT,
like up.
yeah. The ergonomics for the passenger on the XT. Oh man, look how close you were to the pipe too.
You're gonna melt your shoe.
Wow. Okay, well that's good to know.
But
on this one,
it brings it out a lot.
Well, yeah, you're down a lot farther, and the foot peg is just flat out bigger.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're not about to melt your freaking leg.
And you're not about to freaking, cook your leg on the exhaust. All right, look, the XT250 is a great bike, and I rode one. I rode the one that Bradley Performance built and rode it out there in Arkansas at the Greasy Bend Off-Road Park, and the suspension on his was just absolutely dialed. So I got on this and I'm like, oh, this just feels so different, but I know the potential that this bike has with the different suspension, with a few little mods that you can make to it, and it's a woods warrior. Like, I had so much fun on that bike. I mean, it kind of really depends personal preference wise. There are pros and cons to both. One thing, I love the simplicity of the TW. Everybody says, oh, it needs fuel injection, it needs the discs, it needs, these a few upgrades to it. And honestly, I don't think so. I mean, the TW is super simple, it's fun, it's easy to work on, whereas when you get into the fuel injection, if anything goes wrong with that, it's a lot harder to work on than the TW would be. We're gonna wrap this up now. We did probably an hour altogether riding the bikes all over the place. Final thoughts, anything else you guys want to add? And out of both of them, which one right now would you take?
This one. I'll take this one.
You take the TW?
Yeah.
Why?
On our way back to the house when we were up there, this one definitely feels more stable. Like this one felt like
just more wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Just with the narrowness of the rear tire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the front tire.
So you would choose the TW.
Yep.
What would this have to be for you to choose the XT over the TW?
It'd have to be a TW.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Halt. You're up.
For me, I think it's a tie.
It's a tie?
Yeah. Because I like multiple different things on both.
Multiple different things on both? Okay.
I like the seat and the suspension on this one because it goes down low enough that it can touch easier even when it's still a tall bike.
Okay.
And then I like the TW because it's just like, I don't know, TW.
Because it's just the TW.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well, for me, I'm still partial to the TW. Honestly, I like the feel of it. I like the width of it. I like the stance of it. I like just, it feels a little bit more stout than the XT250. But like I said, I have ridden the XT that Bradley Performance built and the TW that Bradley Performance built, and I like them both. I really think it would all fall down to more of what kind of riding that I would be doing more. If I was doing more of the street, probably the XT. If I was doing more of the off-road and less street, the TW. So that's the beauty of it all, though, is it's a lot of personal preference. Both of these are great bikes. Both of them feel good. Both of them are a great platform to start with if you want to do any mods or anything like that to it. I don't know. I mean, it's not a big enough difference between the two for me to go, yes, definitely this one over this one. But with all the stuff that we've done to the TWs, all the time and everything that we spent on them, I'm just more biased towards the TW right now. But maybe that means I need to pick up an XT250 and spend some more time on that and do a bunch of things to it. So comment down below what you think about this video, which one you would take, And if there's any other questions that you want us to answer between the TW and the XT250, let us know, because we've got, you know, just a few more days with this bike. So we got to make sure that we make it worth it. So I'm Matt. This is out here. A huge shout out and say thanks to both of my boys for filming this one with me. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
Aw. Aw. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one.